All right, everybody, welcome in to another edition of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. It's Brendan and Trevor tonight, and we appreciate you guys being in, listening to this Week 11 preview. But it's a loaded episode tonight, guys. We obviously had some stuff going on earlier in the week, so we're going to talk a little bit about Week 10, just kind of some of the scores, some surprising things maybe, and then we're going to talk about the college football playoff rankings. We give you our top 25 that we dropped earlier in the week on socials. If you're listening on podcasts, again, go follow us on those platforms and you can see those types of graphics. And then we're also going to break down the Week 11 games, talk about our gridlocks, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Wisconsin.
A whole lot of things, everybody. It's a
loaded episode tonight. And we've already got comments coming in. We got reporting live from Florida. Our boy Jacob, he's down in Orlando. He's at Disney, and then just wait and see, Jacob. Just wait and see what goes on there. All right, so guys, we got a few in, and sure some more will start trickling in, but we're going to talk about Week 10. I feel like most of the people that come in later will have already heard enough about it. But Trev, looking at Week 10. Some things that stood out to me really was the Group of 5 race. Tulane was right there for in the battle seat. They're fighting for it, and then they go off and get blasted by UTSA.
Yep.
Another one, James Madison's tearing people apart right now.
Yeah,
shutting people down in the back half of games. So they're positioning themselves well.
They're pushing, but I feel like it might be too little, too late.
It might be the JP poll from Pate, Josh Pate. He does they do their power rankings. He said that he's got James Madison power rated as the top Group of 5 team, which surprised me a little bit, considering you got Memphis.
Memphis is playing pretty well.
And then you look at Memphis; they're still rolling. They beat Rice. I mean, it was really that one letdown against UAB when they had their quarterback out. So
right.
I mean, you got these teams that are trying to position themselves in the Group of 5. I mean, USF going down also didn't help. Earlier to Memphis. So there's a lot of battling in these 1-loss and 2-loss teams in the Group of 5. And then when we look at the college football playoff rankings, guys, they weren't ranked at all. There's no love for the Group of 5 in the top 25. So we'll talk about that here shortly. Trev, any games stick out that from Week 10 for you? Obviously, SMU beating Miami is one of the bigger ones this week.
Look, Week 10, we're just gonna forget that happened and we're gonna move on. It's a big FU to Trevor week. It was a big FU to Trevor weekend because every pick jacked me up.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna move on and pretend it didn't happen.
Oh my God. I wish we could. And a couple of these games, and we tweeted it out. This was the week that last year you started seeing these teams that were trying to get into contention start dropping like flies. Houston, they go down to West Virginia, who's now 3-6. And that was a team that we said in the preseason, hey, watch out for them late. They can really screw up somebody's playoff hopes. Well, Houston, you got. Cincinnati got absolutely smoked by Utah. I mean, all these things are happening. Duke takes down Clemson. I'm surprised Dabo Swinney is not catching more heat, but I think he's earned enough, credit, across the fan base. But I'm just surprised to not see the heat that, other coaches are getting on social media. And then outside of that, really the biggest one that stuck out to me, Trevor, there's other ones too, but Arizona State coming out with Jeff freaking Sims and putting it down on Iowa State after we talked so much trash.
I just want to put this out there. You talk so much trash about him. I didn't say much.
Was it just me?
I didn't say much. I didn't say much.
It was me. I said it. I said, I don't see how this team can go forward with him. And then he goes out and has a legacy game. I mean, it's remarkable. So good for Dillingham, even though he's got a lot of people talking about him maybe jumping ship. Yeah. I mean, you're a big fan of him going.
Really, I know Brendan's probably tired of hearing me say this, but I really believe that if Penn State goes after anyone, it should be Dillingham 1 and then Jedd Fisch 2. Those should be their top 2 guys, honestly.
Yeah.
Penn State, in my opinion, is not going to benefit from getting Brian Kelly in there or anything like that. I really do not think that there are many coaches better than Dillingham and Jedd Fisch. Dillingham being a younger coach has really energized Arizona State, and Jedd Fisch. I mean, look, the proof is in what Jedd Fisch has done in his career. He just knows how to build these 2 programs. I mean, what he's doing over at Washington, I think he is like a few pieces away from being relevant in the Big Ten, and they are relevant. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking like into the upper
contention type.
Yeah. So I think both of those coaches should be on Penn State's shortlist, in my opinion.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, who wants Brian Kelly? Really,
right?
I mean, somebody's going to take him. I guess they'd be somewhat dumb not to, but I can't stand that dude. But we'll see what happens. And Jedd Fisch, I agree. I think he's a fine coach. Look what he did with Arizona in such a short time. Fafita's back to himself this year. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Don't get me started. I mean,
a couple other I wanted to mention real quick was we briefly said SMU, beating Miami. That's a huge upset. Texas also taking down Vandy. Texas has figured out how to play offense. And
this week, we'll see what next week brings.
I hear you, but it's been 2 straight now after figuring out with Mississippi State. I know it's Mississippi State, but then Vandy, getting that going. That's giving me a little bit more hope and respecting them a little bit more. I want to see it in another week. Give me 3 straight, and then I'm like, okay, now we're cooking. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with them, but they've positioned themselves well to get back in. And then as for Miami, they're dropping back. People are not respecting them. They've lost 2 in 3 weeks. So I mean, there's a lot of questions going around this playoff group, and it's going to be a race to the finish, guys. I'm trying to look at some of these comments that are coming in. Notre Dame. I know they've got their 2 losses. Barbara hates Notre Dame. Certified hater.
I'm with you, Barbara. I
hate them too, but I'm telling you, that's a good football team. I do like.
Nothing would make me happier to see Marcus Freeman take the Penn State job.
That would be funny. I would support that message. But honestly, I don't know. Then looking at Michigan, yes, Michigan escapes Purdue. Defensively, I don't mind what's going on there. We got a ton of injuries. Guys are out. Bryce has got to get settled in. He looked really uncomfortable again. He makes some good passes there, and then others, like he was overthrowing them. Some of them were just by a hair off. I don't know. I don't know what it is about night games. I don't know. Something's off with those, and it needs to change. Question real quick from Jacob Levy, going to be out at Mississippi State. I don't think so, man. I think he's really turned that thing around, even just offensively, being able to hang with everybody and being in contention in these games. that's enough for me to see, okay, this guy's doing what he needs to do at Mississippi State. Let him run for a little bit. I mean, they can't have these false, aspirations, I guess, of doing what they did when they were paying recruits under the table. Sorry, but it is what it is. They got that 1-2 years of being relevant with Dan Mullen, and then after that it's back to the dwelling house. Right. But no, we'll see what Mississippi State does. Trev, what do you think about Levy in Mississippi State?
I think it's interesting, but Mississippi State should worry about Levy only if depending which programs come open after these bigger jobs are getting filled.
Yeah,
potentially. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, Mississippi State, the expectation is still pretty low, but I mean, within that fan base, the expectation is still intense.
It is.
Like within the Mississippi State fan base, it's very intense still. So, do you leave for maybe a lower expectation job and deal? It all depends. I mean, I've never heard him say anything bad about Mississippi State, obviously.
No, he's a young head coach, too.
And he's young, but I think Vandy needs to worry about their head coach a little bit.
Who is that? You broke
Vandy?
Up on my end.
Yeah, you froze on my end.
Getting a lot of.
I think Vandy needs to really lock down their coach. But then the other prevailing thing with a lot of these coaches is that why leave a good situation? If you're building something good, there's really no reason. Just see if they'll extend you and give you more money.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Or you can be like Auburn, where you just fire coaches every 3 years.
Yeah, because that's worked out great.
Oh, poor Hugh Freeze. He got the can.
Hey, he got $15 million for it, though. So
yeah, I don't feel bad.
I do not feel bad for him.
Yeah, apparently, I mean, no disrespect to church music, but apparently he was dropping church music at the games, like trying to get the team hyped up to that. And some insider came out.
Well, church music ain't gonna get you pumped, but I mean,
they're
maybe Christian rock, maybe some Christian rock or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no disrespect on it, of course, but I just think it's fun. You trying to get the boys hyped up, ready for the game. You put on, I don't even know, but regardless, he's gone. He's fired after only putting up 3 points against Kentucky.
Definitely a good point there, Jacob. He's on that pipeline. Penn State's going to grab another.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. One other one, just to mention real quick, was Wake Forest was at 5-2. They ended up dropping to Florida State. Florida State actually put a whoop down on them. So Wake, I knew you had quarterback issues. I thought you could do a little bit more on the ground, and FSU locked it down. But guys, let's week 10, there's some craziness. It's time to talk about the rankings and what happened after week 10. Because like you said, there were some shakeups, some teams got pushed around. Trev, you got the graphic. Let's throw it up and let's see what ESPN and the committee gave to us. Ohio State's sitting at number 1. I think Indiana is really close to getting that number 1 spot. Texas A&M, they had a really good resume, and it's still good. But I think some of it's lost a little bit of the luster off some of the teams that have been losing. And they also did have a couple close games like to Arkansas, who's, had issues. But I could see any 3 of those being interchanged in the top 3 spots. Like, that wouldn't bother me at all. Bama fans, don't be upset at being number 4. You've got to be realistic. You lost to Florida State in week 1. Like, that shit still matters.
Are they really that upset about being number 4?
Online, they absolutely are. They're like, we've got the best resume in college football, all that. Again, you lost. It's how it is. Georgia sitting at number 5. I don't think there's any really issues with the top 25, Trev, outside of Tennessee at the end. Do you see anything that's alarming? Maybe I don't think Miami should be at 18, considering other 2 lost teams.
Look, I mean,
now I know they lost to SMU, which isn't a horrible program.
Right. And everybody has to take a breath on this initial ranking in week 11. This is not about the eye test. This is not about anything. This is simply about they are ranking everybody by analytics and strength of schedule. as of right now. There will be an eye test factor going forward, but right now the initial ranking it is dissolved of that, in my opinion. Looking at the rankings of where they are, because if you went off of eye test, I would have Utah over Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah,
as far as the way they're playing both sides of the ball.
And right now, like, what have you done?
And right this minute, like that's like a good example of how the eye test is not coming into play with this.
Yeah.
So,
and you'll see our top 25 soon, and you'll see how we're ranking them.
Where I would say a little bit of the eye test is definitely coming into play on that.
Yeah, and I use that some. A lot of it's resume when I do my rankings. And also just, hey, like this team is playing well. It's a hybrid. It very much is mostly resume. Some of it's eye test. Like Ohio State, I know they don't have the resume, as some of them, but the Texas win is looking better now. And then Sayin is he's like a doctor out there. I mean, he's just cutting people to pieces. Do doctors do that? He's a butcher. And I've only had a couple sips of Maker's Mark tonight. But looking at these rankings, I don't think there's much to argue with. I could see BYU being higher based on them being undefeated. That's important. Texas Tech is moving up. Oregon's they're kind of getting left behind.
But to have BYU where they're at, I think is a win for BYU as it stands right now. Considering who's in front of them, and then you're basically, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this weekend it's a rubber match.
This is huge for them.
This weekend is a rubber match. We'll get into it in a little bit, but it's going to be a huge weekend for both Texas Tech and BYU.
I'd say the biggest qualm that people I've seen is between Tennessee being ranked. They have 0 good wins.
Okay,
how are they ranked? I have no idea. That is baffling to me. And then the other one would be Notre Dame over Miami, even though Miami has the head-to-head. I get it, but even in my rankings, I don't have Miami I don't have Miami over Notre Dame simply because they're very similar in resumes, but Miami has the worst loss to SMU, which has struggled at times this season.
And look,
so that's where I'm very head-to-head oriented.
Right. But
until there's something.
But with all top 25s, it's recency bias, right? So it all depends on when you lose. If you lose, and we see it, we're seeing it where Alabama lost early in the season, and look where they are. They recovered and they righted the ship. Where the later loss you get, the harder it hits.
It certainly does. And that's just, I don't know if it's just the nature of human nature or what. Like, I don't know. And Jacob asked a good question. Should the weight be placed on the rank of the team at the time they play or what they finish at? I'm a proponent of where they finish. I think the only time you count, it was a top 5 win. That goes in the stats column for if you're looking in the past, like looking at James Franklin. Well, he's 1-25 against top 5 teams. Pretty damn close. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but that's where I look at that. But you have to judge these teams based on how their whole season is, the entire resume. So as Florida State keeps getting wins, okay, maybe that Bama loss isn't as bad as it was 2 weeks ago, or the Texas win for Ohio State. I didn't count that for much because Texas looked like dog shit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it didn't take much for Ohio State to beat Texas that game, in my opinion.
I mean, it was tight. It was nasty. I still thought Arch Manning sold that game. They were right in it, but I don't know. I trust more of it as the picture goes along, and I adjust my rankings accordingly on how these teams progress through the season. So that's kind of what I do. Notre Dame, I know they've lost 2. They were both back-to-back early games, one to Miami and then one to Texas A&M. So they've got the good losses. I know people hate that, but it's a fact. They were tight. They were within it. They scored well. And then when you look at, like I said, Miami, they're starting to fall off a little bit. They're right in it again with both these teams that they've lost to, but Carson Beck threw 4 picks the one game. He threw a pick in overtime on this one. So there's things that factor in, I think, that you have to plug and play. And then as for Tennessee, I don't get it. Trev, anything else on the top 25 from the CFP committee?
Do we want to go over, like, show where we landed on the composite 2025?
Yeah, drop ours, and you can see the composite, and I'd say it's pretty similar. We do have Memphis up there on ours. Washington, Iowa getting love. Cincinnati still hanging in. As you see, no Tennessee there. And ours is similar even with Miami being dropped back on the composite. On my individual one, I had Miami, I think, at 14. I think Blake dropped Miami back into the 20s. I can't remember.
Right.
I had to pull up the picture. But yeah, it evens out, and that's why I kind of like these composites. I know the AP gets shit, most of it, because some of those guys don't watch the games. But when you're talking about people like us or any podcast out there that watches these, it tends to, I think the composites tend to be a little bit more accurate. Yeah, Blake had Miami at 18. Trev, you dropped them pretty heavy after that loss down to 22, and I still had them.
Yep.
I had them at 14, so that's kind of why they're sitting there at 18 currently.
And just to defend my dropping of them, it was so. Brendan will agree with this because I've admitted this even from the very first time we started this, is that I have eye test bias.
You do.
Like, if I really truly do. If you play like dog shit, I will rank you like you play dog shit.
Yeah.
So in the loss, with Miami loss, I thought that up until that point, I thought Carson that 4 interception game was killer. But last week, I thought Carson Beck actively lost that game for them.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So with that being said, this, just like any other sport, the most important player has to be your best performing, most consistent player. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that's the way I looked at it, and that's why I hit Miami so hard.
Well, but at least you back yours up. Unlike some of these, I forget her name, but she shared that it was like week 6, and somebody had lost, and she moved them up in the rankings.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she's laughing about it in this video that she sends out because people were dogging on her. She's like, "I don't want to explain it, but that's just kind of what happened." And you're like, "No, like coaches get fired based on this shit."
That's not how rankings work, young lady.
Yeah, like I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do some of these, get the position on the AP poll? So
I feel like us little podcasts should get a vote.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys are on Twitter,
watch more games than any of those guys put together. I guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're on Twitter, ourselves and a group of podcasters and other football pages that watch this stuff religiously.
Especially, we've talked to a lot of them, and honestly, they're all super knowledgeable guys and ranging from life experiences with college football, whether you're just a fan, all the way to people that used to be a part of a program.
Yeah. And so we made our own we call it the AP poll, all podcasters poll. So check that out on Twitter. We share it. And I mean, if you ask questions about it, the people will talk to you about it. They're not just going to brush it off
for days.
Like you're an idiot. Exactly. All right, let's move on. We showed ours. Again, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you wonder about our poll or the questions about the committee or whatever, drop them. We want to.
We'll definitely defend and answer any questions about that stuff for sure.
That's why we like doing these live ones, so that we can see what you guys have to say and what your thoughts are. Like Jacob, that was a great question, and it's always a topic of discussion on, at least on the Twitter sphere. Should ranked wins count from the moment they played, or does it adjust through the season? All right, let's move on and let's talk about week 11 and what we have coming up here. It's a solid week. Some of these, though, I'd say have lost so much of their luster based on team performance, coaches is being fired. I mean, it's crazy when you look at this in preseason. You'd be like, this week is going to be massive. It's kind of taking a nosedive. Let's talk about it. The first game we got, Trev, is Northwestern at USC. And Northwestern, they have been playing well. They're 5-3. They're 3-2 in the Big Ten. USC sitting at number 19, and they're 14-point favorites currently at home. And it's a night game. Northwestern's traveling across the country. I know people say that's a big issue. I think that's a major excuse, but whatever. When you look at this game, Preston Stone, he's been playing hit and miss. Like some games he's playing solid, he's looking good. Others not so much. And then like last week, they played Nebraska. They were tight in it. And even when Raiola got injured, they just could not overcome it. But they went out, they beat Purdue 19-0. They beat Penn State, UCLA, who was hot at the time. And then USC, they're coming out. Excuse me. It was USC that just played Raiola and he was injured. They got the win. Nebraska played Northwestern the week before. So my bad on that. But regardless, tight win against a fully healthy Nebraska team for Northwestern. And then USC, on the other hand, they're kind of struggling, even though Raiola was down. What do you think about this one, Trev? Any hope for Notre Dame or Northwestern?
Oh, yeah, 100%. They are notorious for this. They are like, this is the program that in the mid to late season, you just don't want anything to do with them because you never know when they're going to catch fire.
They find a way to hang around.
They do. They find a way to hang around, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in a last-second field goal to lose a game.
Yeah.
So in USC needs to use their speed and jump on them immediately and get into a 2-touchdown lead where they can dictate the speed of the game however they want at that point.
Yeah.
That's got to happen. If they let them Northwestern hang around, it will become a problem because, in my opinion, USC has a problem with finishing.
They do. They definitely do. And it's in these tight games too that, like when they play Notre Dame, when they get down a lead, I feel like they do fine and they're able to maintain that. But when they're in these tight back and forth games, Lincoln Riley and crew, they find a way to lose. And I think they would have lost last week if Raiola hadn't gone down. It was close. They were in that type of battle, night game, the blackout, everything. It was beautiful. Props to Nebraska. That should look cool. But when they get in those types of games, they do have a tendency to struggle. So if you're USC, you need to jump out quick and you need to get on it. Trev, Blake picked USC. I'm going USC on this one. Who's your pick on this game?
I don't know. I'm questioning it at this point in time.
I know we talked about our picks, but sometimes after talking about it, you change your mind. And
look with this game, there's no way I'm going to pick I can't pick Northwestern going across the country and then upsetting USC at the same time. I can't. I know I'm terrible at picking games, but I feel like this one's kind of a no-brainer because if I pick the upset, like that's just crazy talk.
You got to ride with USC on this one and just see what happens. Hey, exactly. I root for chaos, and
I do. We always do.
All about. I want Northwestern to win. I'm not going to hide that. I think USC's just got too good of a team for them to get it done. But if it's tight, watch out late. All right, let's talk real quick. Tulane, Memphis. Tulane, obviously, they just took that loss. Maybe they were looking ahead. The spread's only 3.5 points in favor of Memphis. Brendan Lewis has been playing well. Retzlaff is the leading rusher. He's the leading passer. We know how we feel about teams like that, Trevor. They lack that consistent ground attack. And you look at the UTSA game last week for Tulane, they had those issues. They could not carry on the ground, even though they had 135 yards. Retzlaff was 7 of those carries for 63, but the rest of the team, they just weren't getting it done. So I don't know how they're going to do that against Memphis when they're full up and ready to go. But like I said, maybe they were just looking ahead. This isn't a bad Tulane team. They've beaten Duke. They've played well in the season. Their biggest loss was to Ole Miss. You can't fault them for that.
Literally,
I'm going Memphis here. Blake's taking Memphis too. He's dropped his picks.
So we're in a string of trap games here. So Tulane found themselves in one. Now Memphis finds themselves in one, where I feel like that they might get caught looking at the CFP playoff only a couple weeks away from being in, more than likely. And it's very easy to stumble. And this Tulane team will jump on you making mistakes. They will jump out to a lead and they won't relinquish it.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis has to be ready. They've got ECU next and then Navy. And then, like you said, they're in that leader position to get into, when the college football playoff committee put out their rankings, and like obviously Memphis, none of the group of 5 was on there. Memphis was the first one that came up when they ranked teams. So they're in the driver's seat. Memphis, you got everybody's target on your back. Like you better be ready and you better show out. We thought maybe last year you guys could have done it with all the talent you had. This is your time to nut up or shut up effectively. And we'll see what they do. So all of us are taking Memphis in this one.
Yep, that's right.
Let's move on. We just talked about Jeff Lebby a little bit, on the start of the show for any of you that are just in, watching. But right now we're going to talk a little bit about Georgia, Mississippi State. Georgia's on the road. Mississippi State's been playing well offensively. They've been able to move the ball. They've been in it with a lot of these teams. Texas, they were in tight with an overtime battle. Florida was a tight loss. The only one they got cooked by was Texas A&M. Tennessee, that was another overtime. And then Arkansas, they beat Arkansas on some crazy voodoo magic. And then you look at Georgia. They've been playing fine. They've been playing pretty well. They had a tight loss to Alabama, but then last week against Florida, it was danger zone type close. They barely escaped Florida with a win. Do you think Mississippi State and Blake Shapen can get under Stockton's skin and make them force an interception? The defense has been an issue for Mississippi State.
No fucking team's a fucking issue. And their fan base for that.
Trying to help them out here, and you're just like, nope, you guys are cooked, baby.
They are going to be cooked. Look, they've had some struggle. Sorry, my dog.
I was like, are you okay?
Yeah, she's good. She's just being nosy. Listen, Linda, get the hell out of here.
I see her in the window. So basically,
anyway, but no, I lost my train of thought. But no, real talk. I think Georgia's playing good enough, and they're, God bless it, they're talented enough. Everyone knows how talented they are. It's just whether or not they can put it together or not. Yeah. Mississippi State's not, I don't think, going to challenge them, and I'm going to enjoy the shit out of Brendan Walker crying.
I know you and him, you've got a rivalry that he doesn't like know about.
I really just don't like him. I don't like him.
I hope that one day we can get together with
get that level, because I feel like he's
and call him out, and then like that would be glorious.
That'd be great.
A little Barstool Gridiron Uncensored combo. That'd be cool. But anyway, we all picked Georgia prior to the show. Anyway, I'm sticking with that pick.
I'm not changing mine on that at all.
I could see it being tight in the first half.
It might be tight in the first quarter when it's tied to 0-0.
and then it's over from
there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. You got a certified hater. He's Gemini's the most
Gemini, my dog, by the way, that's her name. That's what he's referring to.
You didn't have to say it, but you're not wrong. We don't do bias here. We are as straight up and honest as you could ever ask, my friend.
But fuck Bama.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about the Big 12 showdown in Lubbock. I mean, we're gonna have us a standoff out there. BYU number 7 playing number 8 Texas Tech. Or I guess it'd be number 8 versus number 9, depending on who you're looking at. But either way, BYU's coming to town. They're sitting at 8-0, 5-0 in the Big 12, and Texas Tech is 8-1, 5-1 in the Big 12. Texas Tech currently has a 10.5-point favorite over BYU.
I find that insanity. I find that crazy because I've thought all year that BYU has played so consistently well almost every single game.
Yeah,
they've had some hiccups, but ultimately, I feel like they've been one of the most consistent teams in the country as far as that goes. Obviously, Ohio State, but if you compare them, I mean, honestly, if you do apples to apples with those two, I mean, I don't know, Brendan. I like BYU a lot this season.
I think this
Except
is
for 47, not a fan.
I can't stand his number,
Not
but
a fan.
But Bachmeier, for a young guy, is playing so well. Like, this is what you want to see, and he's only getting better as the season goes. He's not afraid to put his body on the line to get a first down or a touchdown, as we saw against Utah a couple weeks ago when they beat them. Outside of that, they've been really playing. I mean, the Colorado game was close, but again, that's weeks ago, and they've only been improving. They just put the smack down on Iowa State. But then on the other hand, Texas Tech, you've got my guy Morton back. Beren Morton, he is a talented quarterback. When they lost to Arizona State, he was injured. And then they get a tune-up game against the trash Oklahoma State team, 42-0. And then they go out and they put it down on Kansas State, who has been improving. So I think this is going to be really tight. I think the defense for Texas Tech is going to be the one that's going to make a difference. Bailey's sitting at 11.5 sacks. This guy is a game wrecker. We said it in the preseason. This guy is a great talent. I wanted to see. I didn't call him elite because I wanted to see how he does against this type of talent. He did good at Stanford, but he is stepping that up to this 11.5 sack number. And then on the offense or defensively too, we can't be remiss about not mentioning Rodriguez at linebacker. This guy has been all over the field. He is fantastic. An All-American type season. And then on the offense, you got more.
Side note, his wife is a Blackhawk pilot.
Who's that?
Rodriguez is the linebacker. His wife is a Blackhawk pilot.
I had no idea. The more you know.
I saw it on ESPN the other day. They were doing a little story about it.
Oh yeah, we'd love to see that. So all the more reason that I'm picking Texas Tech in this one. I do think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a battle.
It's going to be insane.
This should be a primetime game. It's disgusting that it's at 11. I can't remember who got the primetime slot. I'm pretty sure it's Bama and LSU.
I almost guarantee it. I'd have to double check.
It should, and this isn't bias. LSU is in trouble. They fired their coach. It should be this game. But either way, I'm taking Texas Tech and Morton coming back and being the gamer that he is.
Brendan, these are the games that are, I would say, prime time tonight. Saturday night, LSU, Alabama, Navy, Notre Dame, Florida, Kentucky, and the other one on another channel is Nevada and Utah.
Interesting. Yeah,
those are all the 6:30 slot.
It's crazy, but hey, at least Lubbock has College Game Day going there, so they're getting some respect from that. The students are already camping out. They've been camping out for like 3 days, according to pictures on Twitter. So that fan base is about to go berserk. Yeah. Trev, let's roll on.
I'm picking BYU, by the way.
BYU, my bad. I was about to say, hold on. You picked BYU.
I'm just here for a pretty face. No big deal.
I mean, it's your good looks that are getting us through. And Blake also is rolling with me on this one, taking Texas Tech. It's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. Next one, Texas A&M at Missouri, and this is the one that Jacob earlier was waiting to see who Trevor picks. And listen, the way I see this one, I'm curious to see if you're going to change your pick, Trev.
Mm-hmm.
Pribula is down. He's injured. He's out.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M has been playing really well. They had that scare against Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
They beat LSU, who's not what anybody thought they would be at the start of the season.
Okay.
I just think the defense for Texas A&M is going to swarm this young quarterback for Missouri, and it's going to be too much. Missouri has not impressed me really that at all this season anyway. They've had moments when Bo was in that he looked fine, but I told Jacob, in our college football chat earlier, I don't think Texas A&M's losing to Missouri. I don't think they're losing to LSU, and so far I'm right. So we'll see. I'm taking Texas A&M. I think they keep rolling. Trev.
As I put it on our little banner at the beginning of the show, best team right now in college football, in my opinion, is Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And you don't even understand the pain I feel right now. I wish I could explain it to you. I just can't. It's like an undescribed pain that was been festering for 2 years, and now it's just full blown.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. I'm taking Texas A&M. By far the best playing team I've seen so far this season. Don't get me wrong. Ohio State has had moments, but who have they played?
Right.
And don't get me wrong. I still think Ohio State is top 4 best team in the country all day long, no matter what. Interchange them how you want.
The comment. Well, you just screwed Texas A&M, Trevor. You're done, boys. I'm sorry. You better do some crazy juju shit at the
I love it. I love it.
Like that, more crazy shit than already what happens there. You need some other type of seance.
You're welcome. Just try to throw a little bit of chaos, but the amount of compliments I'm giving your Texas A&M Aggies right now.
I know. I'm surprised you haven't thrown up on screen.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm whiter than I normally am.
Yeah. I can see you turning pale.
A little bit of green.
I'll say, listen, when I look at Texas A&M's schedule, the Notre Dame game does carry well for me. It was early. Yep. They had a freshman quarterback. I get it. But when you look at the rest of the schedule, it's not really impressive. Auburn, they're, Jackson Arnold's, whatever. Mississippi State has moments where they can score with you.
Right.
But defensively, they're a train wreck. Florida is they have decent moments, but they're, again, not complete. LSU just fired their coach. And Brian Kelly did kill somebody, on a scissor lift years ago. Just had to put that out there. And then you play Missouri team that just lost their starting quarterback. South Carolina coming forward. That's just nasty offensively. Then they place the standard, Samford SEC FCS late season game. But then it's that last game for Texas A&M. I think they're a lock to the playoffs. I don't see them losing until that Texas game, and it's going to be a battle. And I agree with you, Jacob. I'm not saying like theirs is any better, but I just, earlier I was like, okay, their schedule, is looking good for Texas A&M, and then these teams they're just not there. They're just not it.
And Jacob, what I will say about the Ohio State best win thing, I honestly don't think anyone's even thinking about best wins. They want to see how they win is depending on where because as of right now, I don't think they're even the Penn State game. There's no game that you can point to on their schedule that they weren't as close to a touchdown favorite in every game or more that they played thus far this season. The only game that's potentially not even that big of a spread is Michigan. And I would say that is actually generous because I think they should go into Michigan, the game, as a 2 touchdown favorite, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because of the way I see Michigan start games and everything. But that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, that's fine. Regardless, Texas is their best win, no doubt. Yeah. Washington is a fine team, but they're kind of in that same realm. Illinois has moments, but they also have defensive issues. And then Penn State is that's why I said earlier on the show, like I feel like all 3 of the top 3 can be interchanged. With being the top number 1, number 2, number 3, based on resume, just how they're playing, but we'll see. I think either way, I think Texas A&M gets Missouri and probably blows them out. Let's get rolling, Trev. Let's talk a little bit about Oregon and Iowa. Iowa is quietly 6-2 and 4-1 in the Big Ten. Gronowski has not had a stat year, but he has been playing pretty well when it comes to accuracy. But he's got 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The defense is still, I think, on this massive streak of not allowing a 300-yard passer. I saw a stat. I don't have it pulled up, but it's been like 20-something games or more that they have not allowed a 300-yard passer. Like they just blew out Minnesota. Their defense does it. Special teams does it. Their offense is getting moving. I think that they can keep this close with Oregon. I don't know if they can win it. And I don't trust Oregon a lot. Like I think they're good. I think they're a fine team. They're going to be up there, but they struggled with a rough Wisconsin team. I don't know. What are you feeling?
I think that Dante Moore in that offense is gonna rip them a bit.
You think so?
Just a little bit. But I do think by the third quarter, Iowa will probably start making a comeback.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the chances are higher, in my opinion, that Oregon jumps out of the first half, but because they're just faster team, they just run faster offense in general. They're just high octane offense for the most part, with run mixed into all that. So I think that in this particular game, you're going to see Oregon up for early. Iowa brings it back close and loses, and it ends up losing it close. Yeah, is what I think will probably end up happening. They'll just make that Iowa magic second half stuff that they seem to come up with.
It's a 2:30 game at Kinnick Stadium. It's going to start
the
fading
lights will be
tonight.
Lights will be on by the time the fourth quarter hits.
Nasty stuff happens there at night in November. Like, this is one that throw out any common sense.
Yep.
We've seen it as Michigan fans. 2016, you go in there as, I think Michigan was the number 2 team at the time, and they end up losing on a field goal late to Iowa. It pained me. Like, I was living in Washington when that happened. Washington State. Disgusting. That hurt. But regardless, this is one that I think they're going to play a very frustrating style of game for Oregon. They're going to try to limit possessions. They're going to grind the clock. It's going to be like playing me on college football 26, Trevor. It's just going to be grinding clock. They're going to chew it away. They're going to run the football.
Yeah.
You're going to get pissy, and you maybe make a mistake and you lose. So we'll see what happens. But I'm taking Oregon. I think they find a way at the end to pull it out. Too much talent. And I do think Dante Moore will be able to stretch, the defense a little bit. But Iowa's defense is always stout, so watch out for it.
Yeah, Oregon as well.
And Blake also took Oregon. All right, we're going to roll through these next ones. Duke versus UConn. UConn's sitting at 6-3. And get this, their quarterback has not thrown an interception on any pass that he's thrown this year. Like, he's thrown, I think, 304 passes, not a single interception.
That's awesome.
He's got 22 touchdown passes on the year. He has been tearing it up.
I love that for him. It's going to end at Duke, but I love that for him.
Calling it right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I just think Mensa is going to be too much for UConn's defense. I'll tell you that much.
That's the biggest thing for me too, is the offense for Duke is probably going to roll, but I think UConn's going to be able to score with them. And
it's possible. It's possible.
Bell at wide receiver is a fantastic talent. I'm surprised that he was not taken by somebody in the portal last year. He's a senior this season. Skylar Bell, I mean, watch out for him tearing that Duke defense up. And then the run game has been all right. Now, they did lose to Rice. I know the talent level is not the same as what Duke's playing in the ACC, but just watch out for this game. Something to highlight and to watch. It is at UConn in Connecticut. So that, of course, it's at UConn in Connecticut. No shit, Sherlock. All right, let's move on and talk real quick. Florida State playing at Clemson. Florida State is on the road. They just came off of a big win against, at the time, 5-2 Wake Forest. And look, Tommy Castellanos, he's rated pretty well when it comes to some of these advanced stats. I know the numbers aren't there, but he makes things happen. He does throw up crazy prayer balls every now and then. But then you look at the other side of Clemson, they're just tumbling. You lose to SMU, you lose to Duke. Your only two good wins in the last 5 weeks are to Boston College, who's 1-8, who's got Bill O'Brien yelling at a reporter for asking a fair question. If you guys didn't see that, you need to go check it out. He's pissy at a reporter for saying the fans are worried about the trajectory of the team.
He's pissy because he could have been the coordinator at Ohio State right now.
Oh my gosh, that guy! Yeah,
he could be the D coordinator at Ohio State right now instead of Matt Patricia.
Fumbled that
talk about Ohio State dodging a bullet. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, Bama fans wanted him gone too a long time ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, sure did.
But then you look at Florida State. I know they had that stretch of losses. They do go out and they blow out Wake Forest. Do they get things figured out here and make a push for a bowl game. They have to see that's on the line for them. I think they get the win. Blake's also taking Florida State. Klubnik, has to have a fantastic game, and they've got to. The offensive line's got to help him out too.
Yeah,
how do you? The drop off from what they had last year is just astounding.
And yet, I'm gonna pick them.
I know. Yeah,
and yet I'm gonna pick them.
Oh my gosh! So the defense for Clemson has got to pay attention to the run. So many teams, even when they play Castellanos, they don't shade enough over him. You could easily drop a defensive end into spy. You can easily bring down a safety to spy. You've got to have somebody keeping an eye on him. Sawchuk's going to try to get after it, going to try to let him break loose. I think this is a very dangerous game for Clemson. I still don't think Dabo's getting fired, but they're on the verge of.
He might. I feel like.
I don't know, man. I think he's got enough capital.
Like literally, they're flipping positions in
the
immediately.
They went from, I mean, you said it this last year, like, or in the preseason, Clemson, or who's going to fall off and be the FSU. We didn't think it'd be Clemson, but we figured Florida State would be better this season. They've kind of had a fall off. Now they're resurging. When you look at Clemson's schedule for the rest of the way, they have Florida State. They have Louisville. They have Furman. So there's a win there. Thank God for that. There's 4. I don't see them getting 2 more wins. I mean, they might beat South Carolina because they're a train wreck.
Yep.
But I don't think they're going bowling.
No, they're not going to go bowling.
You go from national title contender to no bowl game.
How long has it been since you've seen that Clemson wasn't in the discussion as like a top 25 team? I'm trying to remember the last time I remember them not a part of it.
I don't remember. I mean, it had to be like 6-7 years ago.
At least.
I don't remember. It's been a minute. I mean, Dabo's
he's been there for a minute.
Well, they've been in there for just about every playoff from the CFP, so probably longer than that. 10 years. I don't know. That's nuts, man. That's crazy. But so that's why I think he's got enough capital build up to hold off for another year. But he's going to have to show something because he's not been the same.
He's hearing it right now.
Yeah, I know. Tyler from Spartanburg's calling in. He's watching our show. But no, I mean, he's got to show something because ever since NIL and the portal has been implemented, it's not been the same for Clemson. I don't know what that says.
It's just the other teams are catching up to what kind of talent they usually have, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. But either way, let's talk about the next 2. We got 2 left on the docket here. LSU, another one that's lost its luster. I thought this season at the FSU Clemson game would have been a huge matchup. Even though, we didn't know how good FSU would be, we figured they'd still improve.
Right.
And Clemson, this is a huge matchup for them. You can't let it down. And now it's this. LSU, it's also in that same light. LSU has so much talent preseason. The wide receiver core they have, the Nussmeier returning as a veteran quarterback, regardless of him being, pedestrian, still a vet. And then the defensive guys that they had. You fire your coach. This doesn't hold the same light. I know it's a night game. It's in T-Town. It doesn't hold it. I'm taking Bama here, man. Bama's rolling right now.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson he's throwing darts. He is being precise. The running game is still the only thing that concerns me for Alabama. And can they stop the run? We saw South Carolina almost get them. I mean, that was very close to a loss for Alabama. But on the other side of it, LSU they're discombobulated. I don't know how they go into T-Town without a coach and get the win. So I'm going Bama.
Yep. It's going to be Bama all day long. Come on.
Yeah. I don't see anyway. Blake's got Bama too.
Yep.
And
I did my very best to go as chalk as possible, guys, so I could try and get some wins underneath my belt.
Yeah.
But
you gotta do what you gotta do, man, and you just pick what you think, and that's how good it is. It's gonna happen. Bama's getting the win. Last one for us on the pick'em: Navy versus Notre Dame. Navy, I know they just took a loss last week to North Texas. North Texas has a very powerful offense, an insane freshman quarterback, and then you've got Notre Dame, who's sitting waiting to get in to the playoffs. They are ready to go. Could this be a letdown game against an academy? We talked about this last year around the same time, and then Notre Dame went out and blew them out of the water.
Yeah, and I fell for the trap last time because I picked Navy.
Yep.
I'm not doing it again. They're gonna get their stuff pushed in.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame is too good. It's a 26.5 point spread. I guess I haven't even been saying the spreads. My bad. Go find it on your sports book.
Lazy.
But I'll go back through and say it, every one of them. But Notre Dame, I think they're going to be too much for him. Obviously, Horvath is a talented guy. He's had a really good year. Still has those 5 picks, but I mean, it's not a passing team. But when he did, he threw for like 301. Barbara has been on demon mode lately with her gridlock picks. She has said she is going to do anything she can to try and help teams beat Notre Dame. So she's picking Notre Dame's opponent every single week. So Barbara, I commend you. Godspeed. Damn the torpedoes. They need some help. But I think we're all taking Notre Dame in this one.
Yep.
So hopefully an easy win for us. We need it.
All right, Brendan.
All right.
I want to hear what your gridlock is. I'm curious.
All right. Let me look at what some of these comments real quick, because Jacob's dropping some stats in there. Clemson's last unranked in the AP during the 2021 season from October to November. Before that, they were not ranked since 2014. So they had a stretch from 2014 to 2021 where they were ranked, and then at 2021 they weren't, and then they got
for a month's period and they were back in it.
So it's insane numbers from Dabo, and again, he's got to show something. Yep. Brian Kelly was a net negative. LSU will play better. Is that your rivalry talking, or do you with Texas A&M, or do you actually think that? I am simply curious. I probably agree. I mean, it was like when what's his name for UCLA got fired, and then they started taking dubs. So
yeah,
I mean, wouldn't that be something? They go in there with their interim or whoever, and they go beat Alabama. I won't say anything else about it. I'm not gonna laugh. That'd be crazy.
Then we know that Brian Kelly was always the problem, which we already did.
Out of the war. All right, so let's talk gridlocks real quick, Trev. Mm-hmm. I'm taking Stanford versus UNC.
Okay.
When I'm looking at these teams, Stanford has been playing pretty well. I know they've got the losses that have stacked up, but regardless, it's a 7.5 point spread. North Carolina, they beat a quarterbackless Syracuse. Outside of that, they lost to UVA, they lost to Cal, they lost to Clemson. They're losing everywhere. They can't run the ball effectively. Lopez, he's turned over the ball a lot. I know Gabranson has done it too on Stanford. But I'm riding the Andrew Luck train, man. I feel that him and this team are going to find a way. They played well against Pitt. They did get smashed against Miami. They beat Florida State. That's pretty awesome.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I'm going with. I'm taking Stanford.
All right. So that's a bold move, Cotton. That's a bold move.
It is. I need some help. All
right. So I went with the team I didn't think I'd go with, honestly.
No surprise.
Yeah. So I'm going Kentucky to beat. Oh God, I can't believe it. Beat Florida. This is crazy to me. I'm ridiculous right now. I can't.
Are you regretting your picks on there?
Yeah, I really. I sent it. I was like, I just picked BYU to beat Texas Tech. Why did I not do them? Like as I'm doing, I said it. I was like, oh, I missed an opportunity.
If you want to switch and double down, you can, man.
No, I do really want to double down on
screwed
BYU.
Me over last year or last week. It screwed me over.
Well,
I switched my pick at the end of the game or at the end of the show, and I lost it.
You know what? Yeah. All right, fine. I'm sticking with Kentucky.
I like it. The stick with it attitude. I think it could happen.
Blake with Wake Forest over Virginia at home. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be tough.
Maybe Wake was looking past what they thought was a bad team in Florida State.
Brendan,
what?
What?
I'm just saying, maybe Wake Forest was looking past Florida State, and they're looking at a real contender in the ACC being Virginia. It makes. I mean, maybe they're just looking past them. Maybe Wake gets them. Okay. I don't know. I think it's a good pick. I could see it being tight. Virginia's had a couple of games where it's been close and ugly. But I think Virginia gets a win there, but we shall see. The Kentucky pick, I like it, man. I think it's a gutsy pick. Mav, we'll see how it works out. Hopefully you don't crash and burn, because God, you need the help, my friend.
That's right. That's why it's all bets are off, buddy.
Yeah,
Ms. Barbara, that is exactly why I picked Kentucky, because it could be like a whole new team's playing.
The injury report from that is, I mean, you look at that, it's just stacked of names. It's like the whole roster. And then you got Magic later. You're taking another loss this week. Trevor, I swear to God, if you lose, I don't know what to tell you, man.
People are literally going to start watching our show to tell me not to pick their team.
Well, I think Jacob's already doing
it. He definitely did it.
All right. So that's our gridlock, and we'll post all those in the graphics and all that good stuff. The last thing that we wanted to talk about tonight was Wisconsin and Luke Fickell. Wisconsin has extended, or not extended, but decided to keep him for one more year. Trevor, I want to hear your thoughts first before I give mine, because I think mine's a hot take compared to, kind of what the general consensus is.
This just speaks to the ineptitude of Wisconsin people everywhere. Like, I just don't even know what to say right now.
God,
be honest with you.
You said the whole state.
Yeah. Because dang well they all support it. Well, I know one fan that doesn't really support it, but they'll get behind it eventually.
Oh my God.
So, but
bad move to you.
No. They are inept, because any other coach in any other scenario of a Power 4 conference, this would be fireable on just the performance. It's not just this year. I'm talking ever since he's been here.
Yeah,
it's been a steady decline. So any coach on a major program, you should be fearing for your job. The fact that they are going with him one more year, I don't know. I don't get it. I've looked at their recruiting classes. It's nothing spectacular coming in next year, as of right now, at least. And it's definitely not the same caliber like when Brett Bielema was here or at Wisconsin. Like he's just big bruisers, good run game, solid quarterback who is accurate with the ball. And he's just gone completely off the rails with it. So I think it was time for a change. They needed to get somebody in there that knows how to develop a run game. I thought Wisconsin should take Navy's coach. They should have done that, in my opinion.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Offer them that, but that's
Wisconsin has not.
I don't have a problem with Luke Fickell, though. I actually think he was a good coach and a good hire at the time. I just don't think his type of offense fits with the type of gameplay that Wisconsin generally is good at.
And the shitty thing is, it's gotten worse each year. Mm-hmm. Wisconsin hasn't been the same since they got rid of the divisions in the Big Ten. I mean, that's part of it. They ran the Big Ten West. But then after COVID, the COVID year, screwed a lot of things up for everybody. Paul Chryst
messed up everybody, really.
Paul Chryst in 2021 went 9-4, and then he was fired in 2022, went 7-6. And then after that, they hired Luke Fickell. Luke went 7-6. And this is my take on it. I agree that any other place he'd be fired. I think, considering the rest of the coaching carousel this year, all the big time jobs that are open, who are you going to get to replace him? Like it's a dangerous thing. I know he's not winning, but I think it's smart to keep him one more year. And they said in their press release that they're going to put a large sum of money is guaranteed to the football program. Like he's obviously saying, like, hey, I need some freaking help. Like I'm playing the toughest schedules in the Big Ten. He is. Go look at the last 2 years. He has played the toughest schedules in the country. Paired when we do our shows preseason. Who's played the toughest the schedules? Oklahoma's up there, Wisconsin's up there, Florida, whatever. So he's dealing with that, and then he's had every single quarterback that he's brought in to help this team has gotten injured. I
Yep.
mean, it's been insane. So with the bad luck that he's had, and then with the scheduling, he's just catching like a raw end of the deal. And now I agree that he can coach better. The way that he's ended games is sick. I've called it out.
It's very pouty. It's just very pouty. It's like, meh.
And you just kind of like let things happen. Like you go for a late field goal instead of go try to score a goddamn touchdown, instill some confidence.
Right.
But I mean, I think he just at this point, he's like, hey, my team is what it is. I need some help. And we'll see what they do. I think it's fine. You give him one more chance. You see what the coaching carousel is next year. Maybe you get some better opportunities. Not so many big names out there like hunting for everybody. So I think it's a fine move if you throw some money in him and let him do a one last hurrah in the portal. Like, let this man cook and see what he's got for one season. I mean, you've already been losing, so what's the worst that can happen? One more season of losses, and then go find somebody that's you're not competing with. Virginia Tech, LSU, Penn State, Auburn, all these big time schools. I think it makes sense. So that's my take on it. People are flaming Wisconsin, and I get it. Trevor, I get what your point is, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Guys, in the comments, on Facebook, whatever, let us know what you think. Was it stupid? Should they have canned his ass last year even? We want to know. We want to hear from you.
Yep. And I really want to hear what our everybody out there has to say about the top tier jobs. Who do you think some of these jobs are going to go to? Throw it in the chats. Message Brendan, who monitors our Twitter. Just throw it up anywhere. We'll take a look at it because I know I have my opinions on it, but everybody's got their own opinion on who should be taking what job.
Yeah. I mean, we want to hear from you guys. Drop it down. Let us see what's up. And Barbara points out right now there is games going on right now, which is beautiful. Looking at this week 11 slate, we've got my screen just refreshed. App State is down 19-0 to Georgia Southern, and then UTSA is getting trounced by South Florida. You can tell South Florida is pissed at how they've lost, and they are trying to put on some style points to make a push for the playoffs. Even though they did lose to Memphis. So, guys, Trevor, anything on that? Sorry.
No, just go ahead, share and like any of this stuff down here. We truly appreciate you guys watching. Even just the 20 of you here, we really do appreciate you for watching and joining us each week. It makes it fun when we know people are there watching. But we want you to come join us in the chat, Facebook and YouTube.
We want
post those questions. Post those questions.
And I had to bring this last one up. Mad hate for the curds. Listen, we love cheese curds. I love cheese curds. Great with dip, but Wisconsin, it's just not. Not. Well, we're kidding, of course. We're kidding, right? All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Enjoy week 11, and to hell with Disney and ESPN. Support YouTube TV in this battle, in my opinion. All right,
guys. Remember, live Sunday night. Come join us.
See ya.